Hi stamping friends, Melissa Kerman here with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. Today I'll be sharing one of my September-October 2019 club and free card kit projects. This project features the Wrapped in Plaid product suite, which includes the Perfectly Plaid stamp set and Pine Tree Punch. So I'm going to start off by working on my focal piece, and as you see I have a tree punched out from just some white, whisper white cardstock, and I'm placing it onto my shaded spruce focal piece. And really this is just going to serve as a guide for where to stamp my tree. Now I've also created a little handle there. I put some adhesive on the end of that strip of white cardstock, attached it to the corner of my shaded spruce piece, and I'm going to use it to hold on to it to put it into the punch. That square of shaded spruce is just a little too small to hold on to it and get it into the right position in the punch on its own. So now you see me guiding it in, and I'm just going to center my punch over the white tree. And I don't want to be punching through the layers of that white tree. I just want the punch to surround the shape. If I punch out part of that white tree, it's going to end up being really thick and hard to punch. The same is true for the handle. You want it to be up in the upper left-hand corner or right-hand corner, as you prefer, so that it's also not getting punched through when you punch the tree out. Now off camera I've taken the tree image you see there with my shaded spruce ink, and I've stamped repeatedly over my focal piece, my shaded spruce focal piece, to create a bit of a forest around that opening. So next I'm going to assemble my focal piece, and I've got adhesive on the back sides of all my pieces. So there's my Wrapped in Plaid Designer Series paper, and I'm just centering it on a larger piece of shaded spruce. And I've got dimensionals on the back side of my cutout tree, and I was generous with my dimensionals on that piece just to make sure that that really stays raised up. Now off camera I've used my subtle embossing folder and dry embossed my background piece of shaded spruce cardstock, as you can see there. So next I'm going to lay out all my pieces so I can get the right positioning of my focal piece relative to the sentiment down there at the bottom. So I'm going to assemble the rest of the focal piece by attaching that whole element to my gold foil paper. And then I'm just going to place it over the top to kind of get a gauge of whether I have my spacing where I want it to be. So I'm making sure that the Night of Navy strip is centered on the focal piece, and of course the ribbon is centered on that Night of Navy strip. So I like the positioning that I've got, so I'm going to put some glue dots on the ends of my shaded spruce ribbon, and this ribbon is part of the Wrapped in Plaid product suite. And then I'm just going to wrap that around the back side to attach it and place my focal piece over the top. Now I've got adhesive on the back side of my shaded spruce piece already, and I'm just attaching it to my Night of Navy card base. Next I'm going to punch a star for the top of my tree using the Twinkle Builder punch, and I've got 3 sizes of stars to choose from, and I'm going to use the medium size star. So I'm just using a scrap of my gold glimmer paper to punch out my little star. I'm bringing in my Take Your Pick tool, which has the handy little picker-upper end so that I can more easily manage the placement of that gold glimmer star. And I'm going to use the tiniest little bit of my multi-purpose liquid glue by placing a little dot of it at the top of my tree, and then using my little picker-upper tool, just lifted up my star, and I'm going to place it exactly where I want it. So off camera I've heat embossed my sentiment in gold embossing powder on a strip of navy cardstock, and it was sized to 4 1/4 by 5/8. Now that's a lot longer than what you see here because I sized it in such a way that you could slip it into the banner punch and all the way, and then just snip off the ends. So when you stamp your sentiment, you'll want to make sure that it's centered on the Night of Navy cardstock strip right there, so that when you go to cut off the ends, you can slip it into your banner punch, just as you see here. Now it will be centered such that the point of the cut is right in the center of the strip, and the end is pushed up against the edge of the inside of the punch. Now I did attach my sentiment piece with dimensionals, and so I'm just doing that right now and placing it on the front of my card. As a reminder, this is one of my club and free card kit projects for September and October 2019. The kit for this project will come with pieces that are pre-cut, dry embossed, and punched. Check out the link in the video description below to learn how you can get free card kits. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. To learn more about what I create and offer, check out the description below this video for lots of information and useful resources. Thanks for joining me today, and happy crafting!